Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the third round now of the 10th annual Seviren Lang Memorial. We moved over to Lapping Park. We've got the tournament sponsored by Innova Champion Discs. I'm Nathan Queen, and again, I'm here with the 2020 Waco Annual Charity Open champion, Colten Montgomery. How's it going, man?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to watch this third round and watch some good golf, hopefully.
Yeah, we've got a three-way tie for the lead going into this round with Ricky Wysocki, Logan Bowers, and Corey Ellis. Logan shooting the hot 14 down the last round. So coming in with some momentum here to Lapping Park, which is a bit more wooded, even though we saw a pretty good amount of wooded on the last course.
Yeah, here we are, hole one. It's 311 feet, and you're going to want to hit this initial gap, and then it's going to be a pretty hard dogleg to the right. So going to be a lefty-friendly hole, or if you've got a forehand, that's what most people are probably going to be throwing here.
Yeah, just like the last course, pretty tight gap to hit off the first tee, but also short enough that you are going to want to get this one. Logan coming in with the hot round. He'll have the tee first. Looks like he's got, I'm not sure what he's got in his hand, but he's got a really good forehand. Catches something late on the left side, and he'll have a circle two look.
Here's Ricky. I don't know, is that a pig? I haven't seen that pig yet, but, or maybe it's a gator.
It looks pretty stable. I didn't see the thumb track, so I don't think it's a pig. Great shot, though. Gets the inside of that last tree, and he's up there parked. So like you were saying, pretty good left to right hole. We've only seen forehand so far. Corey, I believe this is a mid-range. He was throwing a lot during the last couple rounds. And he's straightened it out just a bit too much.
But he gets down there and have a long circle two look at it.
Now we've got Garrett, who's 17 down, jumping up onto the lead card with a good second round.
And there's this backhand Annie that he's taken.
It's a Color Glow Rock 3, and that's a great Annie shot through that tight gap, keeping it high enough to get over to the right, but still missing that ceiling.
Corey from circle two here.
Pretty long putt there. Good bid. You can't be too upset starting with a par. Get a little bit of the nerves out of the way. Logan with the 38-footer or so, coming up just a bit short.
Good birdie from Garrett to start off.
Yeah. It always feels good to start with a birdie. Solid putt. And same for Ricky.
And hopefully today we won't have to worry about too many sped outs on these baskets.
Yeah, you're not going to see the cut-throughs and as much action off of these baskets. Hit center on these, and they're going to catch it.
Couple birdies and a couple pars.
Yeah, moving on to hole 2. 279 feet. A little bit tighter than the last hole. And I believe you'll see more backhands than forehands on this one. It's a little bit left to right, but the angle that you have to hit off the tee kind of lines up for a good backhand straight shot coming out of a righty.
Yeah, and this hole, you definitely want to be right instead of left.
Looks like this could be an AVR out of Rick. Catches a late tree. Is backed up right on a tree, but he'll still have a circle two putt from there.
Garrett throwing that same rock 3.
And on the left side, but he's sneaking on through and gets up there in the circle left side. So hopefully he can capitalize on that.
Living right.
And I have not seen this line that Logan's taken.
Yeah, that was... I didn't even know that was an option, really.
Looked like he got up there pretty clean, though. Caught some stuff late about where Ricky's at. And then Corey going back to the traditional line here.
Wow.
And I don't think you can. I was gonna say before it hit the chains, I don't think you can do it much better than that.
Wow.
So great shot out of Corey there, almost ringing one up.
Yeah, that was squeaky and almost got it in there. Nice
Yeah,
shot.
that's a super touchy hyzer flip line. You see how he pushed the right side and then the left side on the way down, and that's exactly what he was wanting to do. Oh,
Good run from Ricky.
Almost saw the raptor legs there. He was ready to go. Logan, he's over here after not quite the best second shot. He's trying to save his par here.
Another one just low for Logan.
Yeah, you can see he was a little frustrated.
Just a little short and low for Garrett.
Corey, after ringing some chains going by, coming back and getting the lone birdie on the hole.
To tie it back up with Ricky.
Yeah. And going into hole 3, it's probably one of the harder tee shots, I would say, on the course. It's got a funny angle that you got to go through.
Yes, I would agree. It's 306 feet, par 3.
And this skinny tree right here in the middle is what makes this tee shot the hardest. We just passed it. You have to decide whether to go left or right. And if you go left of it, you kind of got to keep it straight so you don't fade off down this hill. It's just, it's a hard gap to pick between.
Definitely, and even if you hit that initial gap, there's so many other trees that can affect the drive. So let's see what Corey does.
He's gone left of that center tree with a pretty floaty putter, and it great shot. He's inside the circle.
Yeah, it looked like it almost went just dead straight.
I believe this is Ricky going back to that pig, and he's gone right of that tree with the little flex shot and catches a little bit of another pin placement there and pretty much parked it. I don't think you can get a whole lot closer on this hole.
No, that was a great shot.
Looks like we're 3 for 3 with the rock 3, and Garrett's trying to prove me wrong. I think they're about the same distance away. Great shot out of him too.
Looks like Logan's throwing a putter left side a little bit low.
Yeah, just a little bit left. He was trying to go straight on that line that Corey took. He should be able to get up and down for his par here.
He's gonna leave himself a tester with that downhill slope. So
Yeah, it's hard. I guess it's it makes it a little harder to park it when you don't want to go past it. You can get past it pretty quickly. Oh, and Corey just a little bit high. Looks like he didn't get too far away. Well,
just outside the circle, it looks like.
Nerves of steel.
Great comebacker.
Knows that Ricky and Garrett are both right there. Able to hit his 34-foot par putt.
That's a great scramble from Logan, saving his par. Garrett from 25.
There we go.
Great putt.
Yeah, starting 2 for 3 is that's about what you're looking for before you go into the first par 4 on the next hole. Ricky's looking to do the same thing. Yeah, great birdies here.
Yeah, those were really good drives.
They played this hole very well. This is a tough, very tough hole. So going leaderboard check through 3. Ricky and Garrett are both 2 down through 3. Corey Ellis falling off the lead by 1, and Logan struggling a little bit to get started.
Here we are on hole 4. It's 458 feet, par 4. Your initial shot, you want to hit this gap, and then here we're going to take a hard right. And landing anywhere in this area is kind of where you want to be off the tee. And then on your second shot, you're going to pick either this left gap or right gap and try and navigate your way down to the basket and try and give yourself a look for a 3. But this is a very tough par 4.
Yeah, most of the par fours out here are on the shorter side from what you're used to seeing. But they're very tough. You've got to hit the correct landing zone, and even once you land in that landing zone, you still have just as tight of an upshot as you do on your tee shot.
See, Ricky, he kicked right, and there is a fairway that no one really goes for off the tee pad, but he might have kicked over there to give himself a look.
So Garrett 4 for 4 with the Color Glow Rock 3. That is the landing zone, but as you can see, he's still on that uphill slope, which is another reason that makes this hole pretty tough. If you can push to the top of that hill, then you've got a pretty easy look, but being on that slope, it makes it tougher to reach it.
Corey going forehand, and that looks pretty good. Got a late tree.
Still in a decent position, but he will have to deal with that tree that's right close to his swing.
Yeah, I think the most important part is to just get off the tee pad clean here, and then go from there. If you don't get off the tee clean, it's going to make this hole very, very hard. That's a great shot from Logan, giving himself a prime look for his second shot.
Yeah, he's in a good spot. Looks like he'll be able to go on either side that he feels like he could. Ricky going back to that kind of overhand sidearm roller scramble, which he just always finds a way.
Wow.
I don't understand. That's
yeah.
all I can say about that one. I don't understand.
I mean, it looks like he just gave himself a circle 2 look from pretty much being in jail, so that is impressive.
Corey going back to that hyzer flip shot, just catching a late tree. Hopefully he'll have a look to get out of there for his par.
Looks like this is maybe a putter forehand from Logan, and he gets up there and he's going to have a circle's edge look for his birdie.
Yeah, good shot from him. We've got Garrett.
It looks like he kind of has a fairly open shot.
Misses that one. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Color Glow Rock 3.
He's only thrown that in his
putters. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And here's Corey going to be probably pitching out to give himself a look for his par.
Yeah, get up there. Shouldn't have much issue with that. And here's Ricky. Still don't understand.
Wow.
But he got a birdie.
That is so cool.
Really a really bad drive. But he gets a birdie, and it's that's so cool to watch.
Yeah,
Just what a scramble shot.
2 great shots to make up for that one bad one. And Logan, nice circle 2 putt there to get his birdie.
So we've got a chance for 3 birdies on this one. I don't think on my card that any of us got it. We got a bunch of pars.
I think one guy got it on my card, but yeah, this is definitely a very tough par 4 for being 460 feet.
Yeah, showing us why they're on lead card here.
The Diamond Paragon Pool Table. Diamond tables are designed and manufactured from the highest quality, sustainable hardwoods, utilizing world-renowned designs. Diamond tables are unparalleled for playability and durability. After all, they are designed by players for players.
All right, so here we are on hole 5, another par 4, 574 feet. This time you're going to go forward about 180, 200 feet and then have a dog leg left. So kind of the opposite of the last hole. But once you make this turn, you kind of want to land out to the right side of the fairway to have a better line going towards this basket, which you will see here in a moment. There we go. Again, we've got the downhill sloping green. So your second shot needs to have a good amount of touch on it, even going through that tight gap.
Yeah, this is another one of those very difficult par fours. You know, you don't get off the tee clean, and getting a par is going to be very hard. And even if you get yourself what you think is in a good position, there's so many of those trees in the fairway that could make your second shot hard.
Yeah, Ricky going with the Firebird there. It looked like he threw a good shot. We'll see what type of landing zone he put himself in.
I'm wondering if Garrett forgot his bag and he just had a rock and putters in his bag, in his car. But man, that is center fairway. Looks just what he wants.
Yeah, Color Glow Rock 3. I saw him throw it a lot. That's the disc that he aced hole 7 with on the last course as well. So he's feeling it right now, and might as well stay with it.
Why not? Here's Logan. Looks like maybe an overstable mid-range.
Yeah, going with the rare black color disc. It looks like it had a gold stamp on it as well. Catching a little bit early left. Got Corey here, gonna try to correct on that. Pulls it a little high, wide right, but gets up there to right around where Garrett's at. Looks like they're on the left side of the fairway and should be able to have a look.
See what Logan does.
Looks like he was trying to punch through the woods to get down the fairway. It's pretty tough over there on the left. There's some thick stuff, and he's going to have to keep dealing with that for his next shot. So Ricky looks like he had a line to go for. Left it a little bit right. Corey's got just a straight shot down this alley. Let's see if he can...
Caught some stuff late down the fairway, but yeah, these gaps are so hard to get through clean.
Garrett with his Color Glow Rock 3 again, of course. Gets it a little straight this time. Hyzer's out to the bottom of the hill.
Okay.
Here's Logan going to be throwing his third here. Let's see. And he'll be in the fairway, probably just pitching down and taking his bogey.
Yeah, Ricky here after getting a kickoff to the left side. Just gets around that tree. And that's it's a pretty scary putt from there. He's about circle's edge and has got a pretty big drop off right behind the basket. That'll be for his par.
And that's a great upshot by Logan.
What a touchy little forehand there. It didn't even look like he moved his arm at all.
Yeah, and Corey, I was going to say, I don't think we're going to see him running this.
Yeah, that's a smart play. He's already seen a lot of the rest of the card bouncing around the fairways. He's laying up for his par.
But Garrett's down there, and I'd imagine he's running it. Oh!
Oh, running it and connecting. Drops it in.
And I would imagine that is his Tour Series Sonic that he loves to throw in from all over the place.
Indeed it is, and what a great shot from him.
Wow, he's on a heater so far.
Yeah, getting the only birdie on the card. That puts him 4 through 5.
Here's Ricky. Ooh, and he was running it.
Yeah, leaving it just low for the par save. That'll be a 2-stroke swing for him and Garrett.
Good putt from Corey to save his par.
And Logan struggling over there on the left side, tapping in the double bogey.
You know, this course is so hard if you just get off the fairway at all. As you can see here on hole 6, 360 feet, par 3. You're going to want to hit this gap right going up the hill. You'll see this bench on the right-hand side, and then the basket is right there to the left.
Yeah, it looks like the course might have been an afterthought of the bench. I believe the bench might have been there first.
If you hit the bench, it's a perfect shot.
Oh, no. Garrett's going with a different disc off the tee.
And he's a little early inside, but as long as that stayed on the hill, it should be a pretty easy par.
Corey pushing this a little wide right. If he can, yeah, that's a good float back. He'll be down at the bottom of the hill, maybe in the creek, but it does play casual. But he'll still have a pretty clean look to get up there for his par now.
Ricky probably throwing a rock.
That's it.
And yeah, that gets through some trees, and he'll have a circle's edge putt. Forehand. I don't know that I've seen a forehand on this hole.
It looks like this could be some old CE plastic here. Something he's had for a while.
Yeah, that was flippy.
Sneaking up there right through Ricky's line, gets just a little bit closer. He'll probably be about 28 or 30 feet for his birdie.
And like Nathan said, that riverbed is safe, plays casual. There is no OB on this course at all, so.
Yeah, and good touch there from Corey getting up for his par. Garrett gonna go try for back-to-back Sonic throw-ins here.
Oh my gosh, off the top of the basket.
Good run there from Garrett. It's always fun watching him throw that Sonic. There you go, Ricky. Good birdie putt from him. Good bounce back after that bogey on the last hole.
Definitely, and here's Logan from 28 feet.
Also a good bounce back.
Yeah, great putt.
And moving on to this next hole, you're going to see the first open space that we've seen on the course so far. You've still got to hit a pretty tight gap off the tee pad.
Good
Garrett,
cleanup from
yeah,
Garrett.
Garrett with a good cleanup after almost throwing in his Sonic again.
He's so good with it.
So through 6 holes, Ricky has jumped out in the lead. Garrett making a move, only 2 strokes back now. Trevor Harbault jumping up a little bit, 1 down through 6.
As you can see, anything under par so far this round is pretty good.
Yeah, so hole 7 here, 358 feet. Really tight gap off the tee. You've got a walking path that goes through here, so you might have to wait for some other park goers to walk by before you tee off. And once you get that gap, here's that open space I was talking about. So right-handed backhand, you know, a fairway driver up to a distance driver, if depending on what you're comfortable hitting the gap with. Get a little fade to the left.
Most important thing is to get out of that initial gap.
Yeah, you see Ricky just throwing it straight there, and I'm sure he doesn't have much problem with that at all, even though he didn't fade. He's a little further away, probably circle 2.
And you know, at this point in the round, it was a little bit breezy when we got out to that open space. You know, something that it hasn't really gotten windy all weekend for us. So.
And this is a super tough angle for a sidearm. Pretty surprising to see him go with that there, but he gets out of the gap, and he'll have maybe edge of circle 2 look.
Yeah, that's a very tough forehand. And here's Garrett throwing
something a little more stable, and
yeah, that'll work.
That'll play. That's the closest shot I've seen so far inside the circle.
Corey probably an overstable fairway driver as well, and that looks great also.
Yeah, just outside of Garrett's, another inside the circle look.
Yeah, you can see it's definitely breezy out in the open.
Ricky giving it a pretty good bid from there. Yeah, you can see it back in the background there, all the tall grass and reeds.
Yeah, look at it, just kept his disc, loaded it.
Yeah, picked it right up. Must be a little bit of a right to left or a headwind going.
Corey from 25, that's a good putt.
Great birdie.
Come within 1 of Ricky now. Great putt from Logan to save par.
And then now Garrett has a putt here to go 5 through 7.
Yeah, and like I said at the beginning of the hole, anything under par is good, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
know that's low. Like 1 under at this point is good, and he's now 5 through 7. So yeah, he's playing very well.
So a couple birdies, couple pars here. I'd say that's a pretty good way to get this hole done. Hole 8 is going to be the most open hole that we have on this course. 349 feet. Kind of go left or right of that first tree you saw there. And with the wind, it makes it a little difficult to get this hole. It says 349. I felt like I was having to throw 380 or so to get my disc up there. So it's playing a little longer. Plus, you've got the wind to deal with.
I agree. It was definitely very deceiving. Plays longer than 350 feet. And there's Garrett throwing the hyzer side of the tree.
Yeah, keeping it low, and he does come up short. Which is, I feel like, going to be pretty common. Just something about this hole. It seems to play longer.
Definitely. And let's see. Corey is also going the hyzer.
Gets it out a little wide. Doesn't quite come all the way back, and he'll come up a little bit short as well off to the right.
And it
Looks like
yep.
Ricky's going to go with more of a flex shot here, maybe.
I was wondering if we were going to see anyone go this direction.
Well, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's a great shot on this hole.
Oh, yeah, puts it inside the circle. Maybe he's going with that flex shot to come back coming up short, giving the disc a little bit more time to fly.
Logan with the forehand here.
And that's got a great stand-up on it. And probably about circle's edge, a little bit further than Garrett and Corey got.
Oh, wow. Great run. Oh, another great run from Corey.
Corey giving it a chance, too. So we've got 2 great runs so far. Logan's going to see if we can go and connect one. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Super confident putt there. No wobble, little wobble.
Yeah, look at that determination. He was ready to put it in.
Dead center. Great birdie.
Yeah, and here's Ricky pretty much tapping in his birdie. Great putt.
Yeah, that's again good way to play the hole. Couple birdies. I think we'll have a couple par tap ins here.
Do you go left side or right side on that hole?
I do go left side. Kind of that same line that Logan took, kind of hyzer flip to stand up.
Yeah. And good cleanup from Garrett.
Moving on to hole 9, as you can see, a really tight gap off the tee. Playing a little bit downhill. Once you get down to this creek down here, the fairway goes up to the right and it splits off. You'll see this short pad here, which is where the drone's going, and then off to the left you see that open area is another fairway you can choose to go to, which I feel is a little more open. You don't have to deal with these trees you see right here later on, and leads you up to the basket.
Yeah, this is, you're just going to want to get yourself try and get on the other side of the creek off the tee. And that looks like he hit something late, but he's across the creek and he'll probably have some way to get up to the basket.
Logan coming off a little early. What a great kick there, and he's almost made it to the short pad, so he should be able to have a pretty open look down that inside fairway.
Yeah, that was a great result.
All right, back to the Color Glow Rock 3 from Garrett here.
Can only imagine it's probably going to be a good shot.
If it misses, he's hit the same tree that Ricky hit, so they're going to be in a pretty similar spot, I think.
Yeah, I think they're right next to each other. Looks like Corey's going to be throwing a forehand as well.
Needs to get stable. Catches a tree, and he kicks kind of in between where you want to be at. We'll see what he can do from there. I feel like he'll be playing for a par.
I was going to say that did not look like an easy second shot for Garrett, and I'd imagine Ricky's probably... Ricky actually does have a look.
And we always know how Ricky likes to scramble. Yeah, catches just a little bit late left side. He kicked over to the fairway on the right, so he should have a decent look to get up and down for his par. Corey fighting through everything, trying to get up there. He'll have a look to pitch up for his par now.
And Logan with the most open look for his second shot. And he'll have a long look from circle 2, it looks like.
Garrett here trying to scramble out and get up there for his par. He's thrown a great shot.
I think that was a Wombat 3.
That's a cool shot to watch from such a flippy disc on a hyzer that whole way. Keeps it from skipping away at the end.
Corey caught a late tree.
Ricky getting up there for his par as well. I think this is Corey's par putt.
Great putt. Or great bid.
Yeah, just a little bit low. Logan with the chance for birdie here. You could tell he didn't like it out of his hand there. Just a little undercommitted. And left side on the par comeback.
Ricky with the nice par save. You know, part of me wishes we had like UDisc this weekend so I could go back and see what holes actually played hardest to par, because I'm curious to see which par 4 was the hardest, because they all were very difficult in my opinion.
That was one of the tighter ones off the tee. 2 bogeys, 2 pars. That's the end of the front 9 here. We've got Ricky Wysocki coming out and taking the lead. Garrett Gurthie making a big move, jumping up into second, 2 strokes back. Corey Ellis, 3 strokes off the lead, and Logan Bowers falling off just a little bit. We're looking forward to the back 9, and we'll see you there.